Upon us all, a little rain must fall. This quote from Led Zeppelin's track, The Rain Song, is a rather ominous foreshadowing of the band's future, and I want you all to keep this quote in the back of your minds for now as I tell you a quick story. My name is Connor Hamilton, and I was first introduced to classic rock right when I was born. I used to have classic rock playing me to sleep when I was a baby. It was a part of my everyday life from a very young age. I used to wake up every morning and get driven to school. In the car, my dad would always play some classic rock and ask me, "Who is this?" or "What's the name of the song?" or better yet, "Who's playing the guitar right now?" He would only give me about 5 seconds to listen and answer before he would turn the volume down. If I got it right, he would play another one right away. If I got it wrong, which happened more often, he would tell me the name of the band, who the band members were, and a little fact to go along with it. I loved learning about the bands and the band members. And today, I want to share some of that experience with you. Now, I'm not going to sit here and play a song and have you all guess who wrote the song or who is singing the song or anything like that. Instead, I want to focus on the facts and the real interesting history of a band I always wanted here on my way to school, Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin was formed in 1967 and was made up of some of the greatest musicians of all time. Robert Plant, the lead singer, John Paul Jones on the bass and keyboard, Jimmy Page, the lead guitarist, and my favorite member of the band, John Bonham, the drummer. The band was met with immediate doubt before it was even fully formed. Classic rock legend Keith Moon of The Who said the group would go over like a Led Zeppelin. The phrase had meant to say the group would crash and burn. However, they liked the phrase so much, they kept the name. The band released their debut album, self-titled Led Zeppelin, in 1969. In typical early Led Zeppelin fashion, they were met with more doubt. Rolling Stone had called the album filled with weak and unimaginative songs. The band would release another 3 albums, slowly building their audience and fine-tuning their sound between 1969 and 1971. With their 4th album, released in 1971, came their crowning moment. The album, titled Led Zeppelin 4, would contain their single biggest hit, Stairway to Heaven. However, this famous track was not the standout track at the time. Other songs on the album, such as Rock and Roll and When the Levee Breaks, received more praise from critics out of Rolling Stone. Through 1971 and 1975, Led Zeppelin could have very well claimed to be the biggest rock band in the world, thanks to the huge success of the albums Led Zeppelin 4, Houses of the Holy, and Physical Graffiti. Their overall commitment to albums rather than single releases kept their record sales high. The band's uniform desire to resist television appearances meant their live shows were a huge draw. However, this success and good fortune could only last for so long. Now, do you remember that quote I told you all right at the beginning? Upon us all, a little rain must fall. Well, for Led Zeppelin, the rain was about to catch up with them. In August of 1975, Robert Plant and his family were involved in a serious car crash. Things became more devastating for Plant as his 5-year-old son, Carrick, died in 1977 due to illness. Things finally came to an end for the band when John Bonham died in 1980 after choking on his vomit following a binge drinking episode. The band were never the same again and broke up. 2 years after Bonham's tragic death, the band's final album, Coda, was released. This album was a collection of unused tracks from Led Zeppelin's 12-year career. Like most artists, their time at the top was short, but not forgotten. The group made few public appearances in the years following Bonham's tragic death and kept to a more quiet life. Led Zeppelin were eventually inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1995 and continue to inspire musicians of all ages, and have inspired me to speak today. So next time you're listening to your favorite song, try and play that game me and my dad used to, and see what else you might learn about your favorite artists. Thank you.